Welcome to the Excuse Me Brother podcast, where we continue this mini series of Solo Brother or Brother T or Brother Tay. I have too many nicknames to count them all. It is a solo episode, as stated before. It's just being by myself, even though I am under the weather with a stomach virus. Brother Jay is busy, producer Jay is also busy, so they let me do it. And with this episode, I want you, before we start, remind you, if you're watching this on YouTube, to like, comment, and subscribe. Leave us a comment, but we sometimes read it. Tell your friends about it. Screw it. Doesn't hurt you. Doesn't hurt me either. If you're listening to this, make sure you subscribe to us on any Apple, Google. Take time if you want to listen. If you want to interact with us, find us on Facebook at Excuse Me Brother Facebook, the TikTok at Excuse Me Brother, and the Instagram, which is excuse_me_brother with an A, because it's not racist. Thank you very much. I've been given free range to talk about everything I want because I'm doing this alone. So I'm going to talk about something that's caught my attention recently. Anything, just my favorite things in the world, called sports. And most people will tell you your favorite sport's this. No, I love them all. For some reason, I find all sports entertaining. Especially with the start of the NBA season starting up in about a few more weeks, the NFL season continuing, baseball going into their championship series, and the Women's Basketball League going in their championship series, Liberty actually winning today to continue the series 3-2-1. I honestly thought, I'm happy they actually showed up because I really thought they were about to get swept. So, as a New Yorker, it makes me happy to see that. It's just so interesting watching all these sports. I can't fully comprehend, if you're a fan of basketball, why you can't watch all basketball sports. They're so much fun. Especially watching as the Liberty make a super team with the Connecticut's Breanna Stewart and Connecticut's Sabrina, whose last name I cannot pronounce. I'm not going to try because I like not saying that. I like not canceling myself. But we're going to stick to this speaking just as a New York fan, just in general. Speaking as a New York sports fan, watching, just hoping that basketball season is a lot better than the football season, because Lord knows we're not watching the Giants anytime soon. No one wants to watch that. It is a downright disgrace based on what the Giants are doing. Daniel Jones got his big contract and forgot he could play quarterback. Can't do nothing right. I don't understand how this team made it to the playoffs last year. I always forget that they won a playoff game too. I always remember that. They won in the wild card to make it to the division. That's so weird. But this team is not looking good. And then you got Evan Neal, the tackle for the Giants, saying a lot of people were booing and criticizing the team, and he's like, if I'm not gonna read verbatim, he goes like, why would a lion be concerned with the criticisms of sheep? They're all burger flippers and hot dog things. Which, these fans pay your bills and your tickets, bro. You can't be saying that thing. That's how you lose your jobs. And also, these burger flippers are your concession stands. They also give you food. You gotta think before you say things like that, my brother. And then the Jets, unfortunately, got the sad moment where their season's not over. They've been playing very well, especially their defense. Zach Wilson's taken a lot of steps up, but it wasn't what they wanted, because they wanted Zach Wilson to sit on the bench. It just that 4 plays into, was it 4 or 3? It might have been 3. Can't remember, but 3 to 4 plays into the first game, the quarterback that they traded for, Aaron Rodgers, tears his Achilles. But actually, before we started, they actually showed him back on the Jets field, warming up to throw the football with Zach Wilson and help him out, which is mind-boggling. How it's like the thing for Kobe Bryant when he tore his Achilles, is still walked to do free throws and then walked into the locker room and be like, yeah, I know what it was. And he said it too. He's like, I know it's a popped Achilles. There's nothing I can do. I'm still shoot these free throws though, which is the great. And then you're seeing Aaron Rodgers, who had surgery. He had surgery 32 days ago, and now he's back warming up. He said he was going to try to play again this year. I don't think it's a smart thing to do. I'd rather you just sit out personally as a fan of just health. I understand you want to be out there. To play football, it takes a weird mental space. As I played football in high school, and I have a lot of dent. I had a lot of dents in my helmet from hitting. It was a lot of fun, but you also have to, like, when you go into the game, your mental, you have to have a different mentality. Just like this person is no longer a person, and I have to lay them out. Like, this is a tackling dummy now. So to play football professionally, I can only imagine the crazy mental space they think of. So, like I said, I'd rather Aaron Rodgers sit out for the rest of the year and not think about it. But hey, if he believes in himself, like he said he does, and he's already warming up, you could see him next year, like January, February, if the Jets are still playing meaningful football at that time, not going for draft picks, which I don't think they have for this. They don't have a first round draft pick because I think they traded it for Aaron Rodgers. That's a different thing. Who cares? But we're running it back, and then I haven't really been talking about. Actually, I've really been paying attention to the baseball series because I kind of find it boring, especially when the Yankees are bad or the Mets are bad. So I'm not really paying attention to it. But I did catch. I want to talk about the Atlanta Braves and their fan base and just how disappointing they are at this point of time. Because I understand your team, as a Yankee fan, when you used to see your teams always being top, especially like the early 2000s, some of the 10s where they were really good, you're like, okay, every time we make it to the playoffs, we should expect to win and get to the World Series. Sometimes it happens, sometimes it don't. You gotta take it with a grain of salt. Like, hey, this is a series, and the best team will win according to the series. But the Braves fans, what is going on? Y'all really claiming like, oh, like we should have the series should be 7 games because the Braves just couldn't get their stuff together for a 5-game series? You always have to be ready for a 5-game. You always got to be ready for any series you go into. Baseball is played on series. You play the same team 3 to 4 times. It's always a series. So the series where you have to step up to win and not end your season, you decide that you can't do it. You have the best hitters. I'm told that your middle rotation wasn't good. Your relievers weren't that good. But that's not what cost you the game. You couldn't hit worth nothing. Philly beat you bad. Take it. You sound like Cowboy fans, and I hate Cowboy fans are crazy because all they do is talk about like all our years, and every time they don't do it, it's like it's the ref's fault and all this other stuff. And still just like, hey, as Stephen A. said, like sometimes your team just loses. They have bad luck in the playoffs. They haven't had any good luck in the playoffs in a very long time. It is what it is. But now, we're going into the series. I'm gonna look at the series because it is the championship series, as I said before, where it is Philadelphia versus the Diamondbacks, Arizona, and it is Houston. It's Texas versus Texas. As it's Houston Astros versus the Texas Rangers. I think Texas Rangers is Texas Rangers. I forget. Yeah, Texas Rangers. So just as a now look, I kind of want going into this. I kind of want Texas Rangers to beat the Houston Astros. I'm still not a fan of Houston Astros after their the giant cheating scandal where they had like garbage can banging, the buzzers on their shirt, and all those stuff. Like, I'm not a fan. I know they won a World Series since then, which I know technically helps them in a sense, saying like, oh, they didn't need to cheat to win, but like, fuck that. I still like you can still cheat. There's the same reason why I'm not the biggest. Same reason why I don't really cheer for the Patriots, other than just being up in New York. Just that we all know everyone cheats. It's fine. Everyone cheats. If you're not, in sports. If you're not cheating, you're not trying. But still, in a sense, like this is the worst cheating. And it's bad, and you won't show no remorse to it. Like I can't cheer for you. Kind of want the Rangers to win. They look like they're the best. They swept their series. They're 5-0. Haven't lost the playoff game yet. They have Matt Scherzer coming into the thing after being injured. I want to give it to. I believe Texas will win, but I also know that Houston has won their series as being on the most, if my memory serves me correct. Yep, they won 3-2 games. They played 5 games. It looks like this year. So Houston, but I'm going Texas to win the series. And then, as I said before, it's Australia. Oh, long country. It is fucking all the states. American states are like countries. Fucking me up. It's Arizona. It's Arizona Diamondbacks versus the Philadelphia Phillies, which is by far a funny name. I'm gonna think about it out loud. I haven't seen what Dallas has. I haven't seen what the Diamondbacks have. I'm not gonna lie. I haven't watched the Diamondbacks game since I've been to one, and that was years ago when they played the Mets or the Yankees. Can't remember which one I went to. I know I went to one. Based on what I saw, I'm gonna go with Philadelphia because it looks like they just got their stuff together, and Bryce Harper and Nick looks like they're ready to go. So I'm gonna go with Philadelphia, and it should be a Philadelphia versus Texas Rangers World Series. So, and if it comes down to that, but if we ever come down to that, we'll talk. Maybe I'll do a preview. If it goes like I wanted to go, I'm probably gonna go with Philadelphia to win this. Though I think Texas couldn't win this. I think it'll be I think they're gonna be really good 7-game series. But I got Texas. I don't think Texas is gonna get, so they're gonna have Philadelphia winning a World Series to revolve all the curse that went out of Philadelphia. As I think last year they went to the Super Bowl and lost. They went to the World Series last year, I believe, as well, and lost. I'm gonna look that up just in case. I believe, they went to the World Series last year and lost. And they went to another thing. I can't remember. It was like another finals they went to last year. I can't remember what it was, but I know they lost. It wasn't like their playoff. It wasn't basketball because their basketball team was already a disappointment before the NBA Finals. So they already knew they weren't going to make it then. So I just know that Philadelphia has been having a rough time. I think this World Series helps them out, and Philadelphia can do the parade they wanted to do last year. So as we get into that, we talk about the world. We're gonna get into basketball because I'm not gonna talk about football. I already did that enough. But this NBA season is starting very soon. As a Knicks fan, as I cheer for the Knicks through the hard times, with Stephon Marbury coming in, Marbury being what he was, Zach Randall, Jamal Crawford. So I've been a Knicks fan. I've been a Knicks fan since Allen Houston and Charles Freewell in the early 2000s. I caught Patrick Ewing towards the end of his career, so I didn't get to really see all that. So, but as a fan of basketball, as a preview, I got the Knicks. I'm excited to see the Knicks. I'm gonna buy Knicks tickets to see the game. I'm also just excited for the season. My plan is to buy Knicks tickets to watch them play San Antonio Spurs early in the season. See Victor Wembanyama, just get a quick glimpse of that to see how it is. I think it's going to be a very good season. I think it's going to be a good season for the Knicks. I see them going back to the playoffs. I don't know I don't see them being in a play-in. I think they'll be competing for 6 through 4. I think the top 3 teams is clearly Milwaukee with Giannis and Damian Lillard. I'm going to talk about Damian Lillard. I'll go back to that. Giannis and Damian Lillard and Chris Middleton coming back from his injury. I got to give it. Also, Boston trading for Drew Holiday, who got traded to Portland. They got traded to Boston. They'll complete it, but I don't think Boston will be the number 1 seed because they traded a lot of their star role players. Like, they traded Grant Williams, who was very good defensively. Robert Williams, the other defensive. I know they picked up Porzingis, which will be another former Knick who could be good. He can be good based on what system you need him to play. Like, he was good in primary scorer in the Knicks. He proved he can do that. He averaged 20-something. But then he went to Washington. I know I'm not sure if he went to the team before that, but I know he was on Washington. And he was like the second player, but he was a very good defender. I don't think he's as good as a post defender as Robert Williams, but hey, this is what you want to trade. You want to put a team together to do this, so Porzingis and Drew Holiday will help them get one of the top seeds. And Philadelphia 76ers. I know Philadelphia's always been a playoff disappointment, but they're not a regular season disappointment. I think Joel Embiid will definitely get them put them into the playoffs, probably the third seed. I don't think they're good enough to beat Boston or Milwaukee for one of the top seeds. And like I said, the Knicks will be competing with like Cleveland for like 4-5 again. I'll let Miami, if they decide to take the regular season seriously, because they didn't do it last year, but they still are. Miami, Jimmy Butler is going to be Jimmy Butler. So I look forward to seeing the Eastern Conference just kind of tear each other apart. And then West Conference is always tough, but I feel like we won't have to worry that much. You can always see, always get ready for that. Got a message. I can't see it, but I'll look at it later. It might be one of my supervisors at one of my jobs. Doesn't matter. What was I thinking about? All right, so speaking of that, I said I want to talk about Damian Lillard. We gotta talk about Damian Lillard because there's a whole series about it. Because like Damian Lillard is known for his loyalty, was loyal to Portland for as long as he could be. He asked them, there was a lot of things, but at the end of this year, end of the NBA season, he was like, I can't do this no more. I want to be traded. Like, can you please trade me? And Portland was like, okay. Like, he met with them. He's like, all right, we'll trade you. He told them the only team he wanted to be traded to was Miami. And they go like, okay, man, this GM did it dirty. Bro, Miami heard it. Miami sent some packages to trade it. Milwaukee, Portland was like, I ain't doing none of that. They were like, oh, can we get? They were like, they tried to trade Tyler Hero, so it was like they were willing to give up some key pieces, but then they were like, oh, give us a Bam Adebayo, and they were like, no, that's our second best way. You can't do that. They're like, oh, then trade us Jimmy Butler, and they're like, what? No, that's like we need those. We'll give you Tyler Hero. They were like, well, they kept giving trade packages. Portland wasn't taking any of it to the point where I think it got to the point where Miami was still sending trade packages and like Portland was no longer answering the phone. Like he was like leaving them or he was like not answering the phone. He wasn't responding to any of their messages. He just was like, I'm going no contact with Miami. And while he's doing this to Miami, he's telling Damian Lillard and his agent, and like the agent's going back to Damian Lillard. He's like, yeah, I'm trying to work on this. Like we're doing this and this. Like he's telling them like they're playing hardball, this and this. And then, but Damian Lillard's talking to the front office of Miami and they're like, we sent this and this. They haven't even answered us in a while. It got so bad to the point where Damian Lillard's agent and Damian Lillard called the league to like help them out and investigate what's going on. The league sent the memo to Portland like, we need to have a meeting to see what is going on with this. And like they didn't want to do it. Portland was like, we're trying to trade him. We're like listening to this, and we're like, we talked to Miami and Damian Lillard's agent. You haven't responded to them in weeks. So clearly something else is going on. So not only did that, they got into them. They got Miami, they got Damian Lillard agent, and they got Portland. They got all GMs. I don't know if Damian Lillard was part of the meeting. Could have been. I didn't read that part. But they got there for the meeting, and like the whole time, the league was just like reprimanding. I was going to say shitting on them, but I don't think they were insulting them. They were just reprimanding them, like scolding them like a parent would. Like, this is not how you trade. Like, what are you doing? That's not what you agreed to do. And this, and this. Oh, sorry. I'm also watching sports. I'm talking about sports as I'm watching sports. And I just watched a great play. That was a hell of a throw by Zach Wilson and Garrett Wilson. Wilson on Wilson connection. Wait, continue. Well, they scolded them for about a good hour into the meeting. And at the end, they were just like, we'll trade him. And they was like, and it was like, I refuse. And then the GM was like, whatever, I ain't training in Miami. So you have to give, like, I'll trade in Miami, give you the best package, but you're going to have to give me more than one team. I need to work with more than one person. So he gives them 2 more teams. He goes like, all right, if you're not going to trade me Miami, I'd rather be traded to Milwaukee or Brooklyn. Now, he wanted to go to Milwaukee because he's very good friends with Giannis. I kept up the pumpo. I said his name wrong, but okay, I just like his name. And they were very good friends. They were best friends. They were good friends in the All-Star break the year before the year where like they had to pick teams. I think it was the first year LeBron's team lost a finals. And then like Giannis picked, everyone knows like Giannis is also about loyalty. So everyone thought he was going to pick his teammate, Chris Middleton. I don't think it was that. I think it was either 2021 or sometime. Oh no, they thought they was going to pick his teammate, Drew Holiday, first. And he picked Damian Lillard first. And everyone was like, Giannis is being sneaky. I don't like this. LeBron was like, he's doing something. I don't like this at all. But that's what so like him and Giannis are good friends. So he'd rather go to Milwaukee. And if he wasn't going to go to Milwaukee, it was going to be Brooklyn. He wanted to go to Brooklyn. And Brooklyn sent the package, but Milwaukee also sent the package that I don't know if it was better. I didn't really get to see Brooklyn's package, but it came, if I gotta remember correct, I'll look it up. But I know it involved Drew Holiday, which is how he got traded for Drew Holiday and some other things. There was a lot of players in that pick. But it also this was the package. They were like, all right, he was like, I'm signing off on this one. I'm going to go play with Giannis. I can't really find it at this time. Oh, yeah, that's right. It involved, and to get it done, they involved Phoenix, which is also really good, which is why if you're a 2K fan, Portland's going to be really annoying to play in 2K because they just got a bunch of players that are like a bunch of high 80s and like low 80s. That's their whole roster, and you're just like, it's going to be annoying. But the Suns also are going to be really good to play with. Oh, my God. Sorry, I was looking at the package and then NBA started playing an ad in my ear. Jesus Christ. But Portland got some stuff. I know Portland got Drew Holiday. They took DeAndre Payton. I think I can't say his name correct, but the center of the Phoenix Suns and the Sun and like another player, but the Suns got Jokic, the starting center, Grace Allen, a starting shooting guard from Milwaukee. It was a very good package that pretty much just built the roster, that built the Suns, because the Suns technically also have a super team together right now with Kevin Durant, Bradley Beal, and Drew and Devin Booker, because Chris Paul's no longer there. So it's going to be a very good series. I don't know if that's going to be enough to win against a real built-up draft super team like the Nuggets. Gonna be rough, but we'll see. Completely forgot. Honestly, the trade was so bad. I completely forgot that the Suns have like Bradley Beal and Kevin Durant. I forgot Kevin Durant was on Phoenix for a while. That's how crazy though. But we're going to look forward. Season starts in about 2 weeks. That's gonna be great. All these storylines are gonna be fantastic. But as to continue about, I told you I'm a giant fan of all sports. And next year, with the year coming to the end, we gotta look forward to next year. So it's 2024, which is an Olympic year. So the Summer Olympics is again next year. It goes by very fast. It comes by very fast, especially with the pandemic. So we gotta look at it, get ready for Paris. I look forward to seeing track and field and the new dream basketball team that America seems to be getting together. So I can't wait to see what that's going to look like based on how everything is looking so far. Swimming's always swimming. Swimming's always a thing, like, American sports, but I'll give you a preview track and field, especially with the World Championships that just ended, with American sprinting team looking as strong as ever, with Sha'Carri Richardson going at it. She won the 100 meters. So congratulations to her once again. And then Noah Lyles came back and won. Noah Lyles came and won the 100 and the 200 meter sprint for the men's side. had Quincy Hall win the 400. They didn't win. He got a bronze medal for the 400. Then on the one side, 200 looked very 200 Corzum looked strong, but Shakira Richardson, Miss Jackson, can't remember her first name. It's like Jamaican Miss Jackson. Oh my God, it's blank right now. She looks strong. She actually looks like she's got a challenge for the world record, which can't wait to see what that looks like. It's gonna be really good. 400 meters looks tantalizing. We didn't get to see the 400-meter hurdles world record and world champion Sydney McLaughlin, who also has another name, Sydney McLaughlin Maroney, I think is correct. She's unfortunately had an injury, so she pulled out. But I can't wait to see her. Can't wait to see her in her do the 400 cycling. These gonna be fantastic. Oh, she may try to do the double like Noah Lyles said he wants to do a double, but no, let's focus on. I'll talk about the men's side first, just so we have an idea. So Noah Lyles won the 100 to 200 meter double, and then I forgot who won the 400 meter hurdles. It was somebody. Oh, it's gone now. Hold on, I'm gonna get it. Hold on, just give me time. I could do it. Oh, it was the dude from Jamaica. That's right. It was a Jamaican person who won the 400 meter hurdle. The 400 meter thing. 400 meter hurdles. Ooh. Also was a surprise there because it didn't go to, I think it went to Ken Masterson from like I don't know his country. We're going to stick to the men, just focus on the 100 meters. Focus on 100 meters because Noah Lyles did win 100 and 200. He did, however, lose his next 100 meter race against the person who got fifth. Or was it? Yeah, he got fifth in that race to Christian Coleman. So, and they both ran the same world time. Like, so Christian Coleman beat him in the next race, literally the next race after the world championship. So no mess, no breaks. So you gotta think this in general, like, oh, maybe Christian. And then if you watch the race, Christian Coleman did trip up and slip at the beginning of his race. So you gotta think if he didn't trip, he might have won 100 meters. It was gonna be good. It's gonna see that. And then you got Freddie Curley, the world champion before this. He just so happened he didn't make it to the finals because unfortunately he didn't make it through time. Like, he got a little too, I don't really know what to describe. Sometimes you just don't run as fast as you think you're going to. This one is in the finals. Sometimes it just happens. He just didn't make it. And the defending champion for Italy, the defending Olympic world champion for Italy, has been looking bad. I don't think he's gonna make it. Like, so I honestly want to see it. But there's also the Jamaican sprinter, Sabine. He's gonna be a good one. I kind of want to see the Americans sweep the 100 and the 200. It'd be very nice. It'd be very fun to look at. But I think it's more likely to happen with the 200 than the 100. It could happen in the 100 with Christian Coleman, Fred Curley, and Noah Lyles, because I think Noah Lyles is still going to do the double. But like, things just happen. It happened. But the 200 looks like it's most likely going to happen. Even though, can't forget about this new kid from Tobago. I can't remember. Or is it Botswana? His name is Todogo, but he's from Botswana. He's been looking very good. He won silver medal for the 200. But I think America, especially with the young Aaron Knight and all this stuff, Olympics are gonna be fun. Can't wait to see all stuff. Can't wait to see it, but also as we get that, with the women also, I already talked about. I think Shakira. It looks like it's pretty much just a Shakira Richardson versus Shamika Jackson race all the time. What the event then it's up like 200 because Carrie Richardson doesn't do 200s very well as 100s. But she has more. Carrie Richardson has more top speed. So it was just really good. Just always look out for that. Only reason I bring up the Olympics is because they decided. Well, before I get to that, let's talk about the men's basketball side for America, because it looks like they're gonna come out with a new dream team, like Dream Team .20 for the Olympics of next year. Only because, so this year was going with the World Championship was the World Cup for basketball, which America didn't send. America doesn't send like their top athletes most of the time to do these international sports, especially unless it's like the Olympics. So like I said, it was the World Cup. It was like a World Cup, World Championships of basketball. We sent good players. Like we sent Jalen Brunson of the Knicks, Brandon Ingram of New Orleans, a great player. Nicknamed Mini Durant for his ability to score and his length and all that stuff. Anthony Edwards, which is like a very good player, very good shooting guard. I'm just naming those three. Those are three that came into my mind. But we did Bobby Portis. So we sent Jared Jackson Jr. That's not how just ranking them. Just these are just the names that are coming to my mind. I think Josh Hart also for the Knicks was there. Well, Anthony Edwards is Minnesota Timberwolves. Jared Jackson is Memphis Grizzlies with John Wick. Oh, we're still haven't heard anything about, which is good. The more times he's out of the news, the better he's doing, because he's still got a lot of things to go through. Bobby Portis of Milwaukee, who we already talked about already in this podcast, but like I said, that's what the team they sent over. That's the team they sent over there for the World Cup. And that wasn't the worst. It's not our best players, which obviously, well, it's not our worst players. The players still were able to get together. It was a very small team, especially when you're going against lineups that have most of the players are big. So we had a very small team, so we're going to use quickness just to win most of our matches, which we did. They were very good defensively, strong defensive team. Steve Kerr was really good as a coach. This team was good enough to get fourth or fifth place. I don't know. I think they got fifth or sixth, because they did. They made it out both pool plays, so they were able to qualify for the Olympics, which is always the goal when you go into these World Cups. Even though they are the defending Olympic champs in basketball, you still have to go through all the stuff to qualify for the Olympics. You just don't get a spot. No, even if you're a defending world championship, your spot in the Olympics is not guaranteed just because you're a defending champion or just defending any medalist from gold, silver, and bronze. So they were able to qualify for the Olympics, so they did their job. Couldn't make it, couldn't win their semifinals. No, it was fourth. It was fourth. Now I realize it was fourth because they lost. Like I said, couldn't win their semifinal matchup to get to the gold medal matchup. Lost, then went to the bronze medal matchup where they lost again. So didn't leave with any medals in the World Cup. And because of this, it looked like it was a lot of America just bashing. Just a lot of the former basketball players, everyone's just bashing to the point where then LeBron James comes out, he's like, all right, bet. LeBron's like, I'm going to play next year for the Olympic team. Kevin Durant says he's going to play for the Olympic team. So it's two players. Joel Embiid, who's not originally American. I believe he comes from Cameroon, the African nation. I'm assuming that's the nation. I could be wrong. Don't hold me on that one. I'm just trying to guess. I'm really trying to guess. It could be Cameroon. It could be. It's a lot of African nations, and there are a lot of countries. But he is a dual American citizen from his African country and America. He's not going to play for the African country. He's going to play for America. He's already said he's going to play for America. I think it's to see if Steph Curry's also going to play for America to happen. We'll see. But right now, it looks like they're forming the Dream Team Part 2, which will have LeBron James, Kevin Durant, which will, I think, pass. We'll have Durant pass Carmelo Anthony for the most gold medals as for a single NBA player, because I think Carmelo has the most for like 3 to 4. But I think if Durant was this, because I think he's gotten 3 now, I think he'll pass and be the most decorated basketball player for American history. So that'll be good. I can't wait to see that. But will they have to do the tryouts? I want to see. I don't know. I want to see if any of the other teams, the former players, make it to there. I think like so because I want to see Jalen Brunson. I want to see Jalen Brunson, Anthony Edwards, and Brandon Ingram still be considered for the team. Like I think they were the 3 best players. Jared Jackson Jr. Like those 4 were like the 4 best players of that American team. So I would love to see them come back to join this dream team. But like if like let's just see who's like really committing to joining them before we make these assumptions about everything. Just want to see. But I want to keep talking about the Olympics as we're going. And the Olympics is always adding new sports to the Olympics. Like last year, they added skate. Not last year, about 2 years ago, because in 2021. So about 2 years ago, they added skateboarding. They're always adding sports, always taking away sports. But in 2028, the Olympics comes to America. It will be in Los Angeles. I may have to look to get tickets to that because I always wanted to see an Olympics in person. So I may have to get tickets for that. It's going to be, we'll see what happens, but they've added 6 new sports to the Olympics, and it's going to be, they're adding back baseball and softball, so those 2 sports are back. Watching it as an American side, I know that the women's softball team was one of the best 2 teams, best 3, could be 3. So I look forward to watching the softball teams come back. Baseball, I believe the Major League Baseball is talking about trying to send players over there. So I would love to see, like they do for the World Baseball Classic, which is one of my favorite things in the world. I'm upset I didn't get to buy tickets to go watch them in Arizona or in Florida, but because the tickets were cheap, but couldn't find the time to get tickets to go to Florida to watch it at the time. It always comes back every 4 years, so I'm sure I'll get a chance to see it. They normally do it in America or in the countries close by, so I think they'll come back to America. This is like the second time they're in America, so I gotta believe they'll be back. But can't. So they're adding baseball and softball back. They're now adding cricket. I think for both. I don't know. Cricket is a man, and I don't know. Cricket is a woman. I've never seen a women cricket's team. Like you want to look at highlights for cricket, I've never seen like the highlights. I've never seen like women highlights. It could be there could be a female cricket league. I'm gonna look it up right now just to see. Oh, there is. Oh, sweet. Okay, cool. Oh, actually, the World Cup is going on right now. Oh, everyone should watch it. So yeah, so cricket for both men and women. Can't wait to see what teams come together. I would love to see American cricket team. That looks like. Hold on. They're adding flag football, which will be more interesting. Both men and women flag football. And as someone who watches football, and as I'm currently watching it now, that's why I'm looking back and forth. Can't wait to see. If you're a football fan, you know of one of the fastest players in the league called Tyreek Hill. He's already called for his teammates. He's always called for NFL players like flag football in 2000 in like 5 years. He goes like, I think I'll still be fast enough to do this. Come on, guys, let's get into this. And I would love to see, like, especially since they now have flag football as like flag football is just pretty much like a Pro Bowl thing now, which is very exciting to see. I would love to see NFL players. I know NFL players have been always dying like to try to get a gold medal, especially for their sport, because football is a growing sport in the world just in general. And so I would love to see like Tyreek Hill, Patrick Mahomes reunite as a Jets fan. I'd love to see Garrett Wilson as a Giant. I would love to see Saquon Barkley if he still got his knees together in those 5 years. So I would love to see that. That would be really cool to see. But that's again in another 5 years. There's 2 more that I can't think. Oh, lacrosse is going to be lacrosse. So lacrosse will be added back into lacrosse will be added to the playoffs, which would be really cool to see. I can't wait to see lacrosse. It's supposed to be like a sub 6. I think it's like 6 or less type of thing. I'm not really sure. Like, what could it be? It'll be a fantastic thing to see. And I think those are the only ones because it's supposed to be men and women. I think that's the only one that's only been coming into my brain right now. I know they're still keeping weightlifting because there were like some arguments about keeping weightlifting and like athlons in there, but I think that's the only one. Those are the only things coming to my head right now. But I look forward to seeing those new sports added, especially as of coming to Los Angeles, which would be really interesting to see because normally when places come to when like Olympics or like World Cups come to places, they build new stadiums like for the nations and stuff. Like it was a big thing in Qatar when like the World Cup for soccer came. Was it Qatar? I think it was either Qatar or I'm not sure which nation. My brain says Qatar, so I want to agree with Qatar. Like they had people come over and like it was a whole thing because like they didn't really pay them well and like some of them got stranded and like some of these stadiums are not being used at all anymore since the World Cup. So I wonder if like when last time the Summer Olympics was in America, it was Atlanta. And that's where the Atlanta Braves play most of their baseball games. I don't know if that stopped, but I know they used to play at the Olympic Stadium. Baseball. So I don't know. Maybe they'll build new stadiums. We'll see. But as I come to the end, I'm giving you enough, and I can't talk to myself that long without sounding crazy. And I unfortunately have some other things to do. So I hope you can use this, Producer Jay. You do the best you can because you're the best at it. You make this video look good and all the other good stuff because I believe in you like I always do. So I want to thank you again for listening to the Excuse Me Brother podcast. And this is the mini series of Brother Talks to Himself or Solo Brother. It's been really good. There's other things to talk about. I'm going to put this in the air. I kind of hope we get a full, like at least, we're going to do a Grind Our Gears episode. And I know Producer Jay and Brother Jay listen to this. I'm claiming Jada Smith for my Grind My Gears. You two can't have them. You can take them off the list. I claim it. We might be able to do it all together because, like, I don't know what's going on, but she has been out of control. Just before we go, I'm putting in the air. We're gonna do a Grind Our Gear, just full Excuse Me Brother episode. So I don't gotta grind our gears to this one. I'm just gonna continue watching my sports as I'm watching the Jets. And the Eagles have a really good game. It's 12-14. I gotta go. Liberty won. So I might have to look into buying tickets for the next game for the finals. Again, thank you for listening. This has been your host, the one that talks to himself the most, I guess. Brother Tay. Thank you. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, night, wherever you listen to this. Have a good day, and always remember that the people love you no matter what you think. Have a good night. Bye.